All right. All right. Hello, hello. And welcome to today's Plumbers of Data Science episode, a channel where we talk about the plumbing of data science, data engineering, everything regarding data platforms and how data is processed on these platforms and everything that makes basically data science possible. Uh, we're starting today with a new project. I some time ago I've started to do a cookbook of data engineering, and uh, in the past weeks, what we did is we were looking into case studies of companies like Twitter, like LinkedIn, and so on, Airbnb, and how they are doing data science. And all those videos you can watch on this channel. Um, some very interesting stuff. And um, then about 3 weeks ago, I made a post on my LinkedIn that said, I can show this to you just a second. That said, thinking about creating an online course on how to build a big data slash data science platform. Hit like if you think this is a good idea. And I'm thinking about hands-on from the ground up with a real user case. That's even a typo. With a real use case, what topics would you like to have covered? What platform should I use? And would you be interested in something like that? That was just from the top of my head, and I'm not sure. And I was just feeling out if things like if something like this for training for data engineering would be interesting, and if people would like it. And so I was quite impressed about the reactions to that. It has now it's 3 weeks ago. It has now 1,200 likes and 110 comments. Some of them are from me, but a lot of comments, and that showed me basically what we should do is create a training, create an online course about data engineering. We will leave the cookbook, and we will keep doing case studies. I'm thinking about, for instance, maybe every Friday or something. But I'm going to update or keep you updated on everything that I do regarding this course. The course, yeah. At some point, I want to upload it to a platform like Coursera or Udemy. Um, but let's in the meantime, what we're doing is we're going to do videos on that. We are going to I'm going to hopefully, I'm not sure if I can do every day, but every time I'm doing an update and every time I'm working on, I'm going to share the progress with you. I'm trying to keep this schedule right now: Monday, Wednesday, Friday for uploads or for streams. Um, yeah. Now, hi Sila. Yeah, that's. I was really impressed. Um, so about the reaction. So I've thought this stream. I'm already having some ideas where to go from here. On this stream, I think what we could do is we could go over the comments of what I got on this post, and to figure out a direction where to go. I'm already thinking Spark Kafka and so on, because what I have seen from the case studies is that this stuff is super important, and almost everybody uses it. But the exact way where we are going with this, let's see. So, hi Dragonfly. Yeah, Spark Kafka. I mean, you, Dragonfly, you have been here for almost all the case study streams, I think, or all. You know, this stuff is super popular right now, and yeah, but it's going to be a lot more. yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, let's keep this for now. Let's go over the comments. Let's go over some comments. This thing, by the way, 82,000 views on LinkedIn, so quite nice. Just get my microphone out of here. So Ole said a very good idea. Spark, Hadoop, Kafka would be highly interesting, especially the hands-on experience with real-world use cases. Yeah, so I'm thinking this as well. A hands-on is super important, because most of the stuff you see is you see some simple tools, or some simple solutions, but you don't really see a. Let me just fix the lighting here. You don't really see complete solutions or complete platform built from end to end, and I think I should go and do this. So Ole said that would be interesting. Just look at the replies. Yeah. So I was thinking at this time also NiFi would be interesting, and Hive. NiFi is something that isn't super popular right now, but for me it's very interesting, and so maybe this is something that I would like to include, because NiFi I think has a lot of um, potential. Yeah, Praveen said here, this is the gap, make it happen. This is the gap. This is really the gap. So I was looking into data engineering trainings and stuff, basically, that helps fresh data engineers get into this stuff. There's almost nothing there. So I think this is super important. And if nobody does it, let's just start with it and let's see how this goes. And if we, yeah, if we all agree this is a good idea, and this works really great and it's fun for me, then let's put it onto a online course platform. I never did this before, so let's see how this goes. Hi Andreas, I think it's a brilliant idea. I wish I would like to be part of once you execute it. Interesting topics like Spark, SQL, ML streaming, graphics, Kafka, HBase, Hive would be beneficial. So SQL, Spark SQL, I think this we can do. Machine learning will not be the case here, and yeah, streaming, of course, streaming, graphics. I don't know 100%. Yeah, Dragonfly, just a quick comment, says not a lot of materials out there for an end-to-end. Exactly. I think I'm not sure if we talked about this before, but yeah. This will blow this channel up overnight. I don't think so. It's data engineering, not machine learning, or not AI. But it will be fun. We will having a lot of fun here. So I just answered yes. That's where I'm going with this. Please share the course when it's ready. As I said, just this can take some time. But I'm going to share with him this stream later, and so okay. Like the idea, says Andres Schubert. Make this happen. No, to make this even more useful, can I suggest we, as the community, team up and build the same platform on multiple target platforms? As you can see, people prefer different environments, and having the same application architected on various infrastructures: AWS, Azure, LAMP, Pure, Windows. Windows. Would enable objective comparison of strengths and weaknesses of each. I'm thinking Andreas has a good point here. What I'm thinking about is that we keep it more general, like general vendors, and not go on some specific specific tools like DynamoDB from AWS, or some Bigtable from Google Cloud. Let's I'm thinking of a of a general vendor approach or general project approach, and not go because then you can deploy this on all the infrastructures or on all the vendors for cloud services, which is basically what we have seen in the case studies before. Exactly. So what was the okay? Okay. I already said that here. I'm very consistent with my with my opinions, I think. I get that it's just something a lot of people are using, but nevertheless, it would be very interesting to see how this architecture translates to other more platform-bound tools. Yeah. Bound tools like using the equivalent that are Azure specific or AWS specific. Discussion is in starting projects often focus on which platform set to use, and showing the real differences to the generic stacks would give people a better understanding. This is some hi Ryandic. This I mean, it's a good idea to lay. I would say this is then the second step. How would this translate? This more general approach translate to a deployment on AWS, translate to a deployment on Azure, and so on. But this, I think, this is the second step of the whole thing. The problem is, and Andreas Schubert says this a bit here in his answer. A lot of people are focusing a lot of when starting a project on the specific cloud vendors, the specific platforms, and the specific tools, and they invest a lot of time and money to get the perfect solution, which mostly I think this is not 100% the right idea here. I would say make a decision if you go on premise or if you go cloud. That's the first one. And then I would say make a decision if you want to go with cloud specific. Is that called cloud agnostic? I'm not sure. With cloud specific tools or with more general tools. But this will be, I think this will be in the course. Justin says here, wouldn't that be a lot of work? And Microsoft is charging things so quickly nowadays. It'd be difficult to keep it moderately current. Yeah, this is that would be 100%. This would be a lot of work and absolutely not necessary for the beginner to go and translate this in the beginning to all the platforms and make a case study or a use case for every platform. I think we're going to keep this simple for learning sakes, because it doesn't really matter if you're on AWS or Google or something. It would be a huge effort, yes. Too much for a single person, so I think this answers this already. Forget it. So let's what it says. It doesn't have to stay current, in a few versions are released from Microsoft. Yes, so this is more or less why I shouldn't do it. The explanation. Okay, now that I think about it, Andrea says, what I'd really like to see is we as a community find the use cases and implement the first platforms. The vendors jump in and create the same. So this this already sounds like something completely blown up thing that I don't want to go right here. Yeah, exactly. What would be much helpful, even in my project architecture, also flows the same as mentioned above. Okay. Jonathan says, so I this is ordered for whoa. How is this ordered? Okay. somehow. Definitely interested as someone with no experience. It's been hard finding a course that gives a good data engineering foundation. This is exactly. Oh man, I just read my. This is exactly true. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Don't want to repeat myself here. Sounds good. What domain are you thinking of? Um, yeah, I'm thinking something as a data source. The thing is, what you want to do is, or what I want to go for in this training, is to have something with a real value, with how should I say it? With moving data, with live data, and not dead data. It's easy to download some stuff and then you have the data in and then you do some batch processing. But what I want to have is some live data, and I think Twitter here is a good choice. Um, is a good choice to go, and because you can query the Twitter API and you can extract the data and you can do interesting stuff with it. I'm not 100% sure what to do with it, but I think we can work something out. Dragonfly asks, what platform will you put the course on? I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. I'm not in the stage of putting the course up right now. The first choice for me would be Udemy or Udacity. The first choices, and something like Coursera. I don't know. I have no experience how to get on them. We'll have to see what is best, what suits best for me, and what I like best. I have some experience with Coursera. I have done some trainings on Coursera, and I like Coursera right now. But I'm not sure if I can, as a single person, I can get on it. Sebastian asks, have you looked into the data engineering nano degree by Udacity? Nope. That's interesting. I have to write this down. I have to check this out. Is this the usual Udemy price? Like Udemy data engineering nano degree. I will check it out, Sebastian. I don't know. Where was I? Yeah. For me right now, the main goal is not to create a course for course's sake, and to build the course and then the course is finished and then share the thing with you. I'm thinking we make this together, and you can show every step of the way, or see every step of the way where I have problems, where I don't know further, and how we solve the issues. I think this is the thing here, and where we put it, we'll see. But Sebastian, this is a good idea. I will check out this nano degree by Udacity, or we can do this right now. Oh no, let's do this after we go through the comments, or maybe on Wednesday. Alberto says you should consider launching on Kickstarter. Don't need Kickstarter. What should I need Kickstarter here, Alberto? I don't want money. Ruben says, hello, Andreas. Please consider building full stack data framework, for example, SMAC, Spark, Mesos, Akka, and Kafka, or Open Data Hub with OpenShift. Oof. Spark, Mesos, Akka. What was Akka? What was Akka? Akka.io. Just put this up here. Okay. I will have to look into it, but doesn't seem to be the choice here right now. Randrick asks, you're talking about the Twitter API. Can you explain more about what I'm thinking of? Is with the Twitter API, you can query tweets to certain hashtags and so on. And you don't get all the tweets naturally because the Twitter API is not really 100% delivering you all the tweets. You always get a partial, partial download or something, because it's a free API and they don't deliver you every tweet. But what we could do is we could query tweets concurrently for let's say data science or AI or both or Hadoop or something, and then see what's happening, what are people talking about, how's the frequency, when are people talking about this stuff, and so on. And it's easy. You can query this data through either I have done it before with a Java solution, just a Java Java application I built myself. But it's also easy or possible with something like NiFi, where you can just query APIs. So yeah, it's the data source. That would be an interesting data flow source that flows, and then you could see the basically the networks, who is tweeting the most about it, and so on and so on. So Aka, I'm not sure. Would be good if you could cover how to design an architecture from scratch for a few industry use cases like CDC. What is CDC? CDC. I know the Center for Disease Control, but I don't know if this is what he meant. Yeah, I answered here. You can find the reviews on my YouTube. But yeah, what it's a BI term. Okay, no idea. What is it, Dragonfly? Change data capture. What does that mean? No idea. Change data capture. The thing here is, and I think Sankara has a good idea here, or mentions a good point. Is my goal with this is not only build it. It's like giving you the mindset or the steps, the thought process of you have the data and you figure out what you want to do with it, and then you look further in how the data is structured and how you then best store it, and therefore build then the platform, or how you want to access it, and so on. So I think it makes a lot of sense to not I mean, if we do a platform, let's say Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, Hive, NiFi, then it would not make sense to actually say, okay, we just, here are the tools and we are using these tools. What I want to do is I want to let's say give you the reasoning process. Why do you use these tools, and how do you then build the pipelines, and how do you structure the data, and so on. And I think we can do a lot of cool stuff here. Dragonfly answers, in databases, change data capture is a set of software design patterns used to determine and track the data that has changed so that action can be taken using the change data. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Not doing that, but it's interesting. Thanks. It's good idea. Start with data visualization with R, Tableau, and Python. No, we're not going to start with visualization. No. What I can think is using Tableau to basically, for instance, connect to Hive, and then because then you have a SQL, or we could do everything as something else, um, because Hive gives you a more or less of a SQL way of accessing data, and so we could use something like Tableau. I know from Kate Strachny with her Story by Data channel. You should check that out. I'm going to put a link in the description after the after the stream. You should check out her channel. I know that Tableau is super popular. Still super popular. And I know that Power BI is it's not so good. Dragonfly says, it seems to me a lot of people don't really know what data engineering is. Yes, still, this is still the case. This is still the case, and yeah, I need to do a lot of missionary work here. Let's call it missionary work to show people what actually data engineering is. Steve says here, use the cloud. Everything is there already. We know it isn't. And for instance, Twitter, cloud agnostic specific from the architecture design to the implementation of some architectures out there, like Airbnb and the like. Why do you choose one tool versus other one, etc.? So yeah, be the evangelist. Yeah, yeah, that's something new. Data engineering evangelist, data science evangelist, or AI evangelist. You have them a lot. Well, Steve has a good point here. Use the cloud, and also has a bad point here. Use the cloud, because for a training, I don't know if it makes that much sense to force every one of your participants of a training to get a cloud account, for instance, on AWS or on Azure or on Google Cloud, doesn't matter, on IBM Bluemix, and to force them on the platform, and to basically more or less, if it takes a lot of time, get them paying. I think that doesn't really make sense. I think it makes more sense of going the direction to something that a participant of the training can install on a computer that he has at home. That's not that high performance, but enough, like something that you install over Docker or on a Docker container, and or a few containers. And I think that makes more sense than forcing people for the training to go to the cloud. I haven't seen this, and I think that doesn't really make sense. Yeah. So yeah. Alberto says, working through the Google Cloud Data Engineering certification. Happy to help with anything. They offer a couple of sample use case studies where you get to look at the requirements first. Yeah, this is always a good idea. Okay, cool. Is that Microsoft is doing that Google is doing data engineering certifications. It's a good way. If you have some feedback, or some or a link to it, please send it to me. You can mention me at Twitter at Andreas K, or send it to me on LinkedIn. Mention me. That would be interesting. I think in the chat here links don't work. Mohammed asks, how can I get an internship in data engineering? Find a job offering. Is that called job offering? A go onto the portals and find stuff. I'm thinking this is the only choice you have. And it also depends a bit on where you're at, but yeah. Dragonfly says they added airflow now to their bubble. They call it Cloud Composer. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay. In general, Mohammed, it's always a good. I have done a stream about this before. In general, it's always a good idea to start some projects. This can be minor stuff. Install Spark and do analysis on a CSV file that you have laying around or something, and document it and put it on your LinkedIn, put it on your social media platforms, whatever. Talk about it, and then add it to your CV. So when you apply for a job, and even if it's an intern job, I can tell you from experience, if you are if I'm looking for interns, I'm first not always or one of the most things I'm looking is the cover letter, and then I'm looking at the experience. And if they have already done some stuff, that's good. And I'm looking at their social media. So have your social media ready. Yeah, use Medium, LinkedIn, social media. That's always a good idea. If you have written some articles, we can also publish them on my Medium page. I have a Medium distribution called Plumbers of Data Science that I'm neglecting, with 300 or so followers. I should do a lot of more with that, and there people can send me their articles, and I'm going to publish them. So to give data engineers or starting data engineers a platform. You can find this just like this channel, Plumbers of Data Science. You find it on Medium. Randrick asks, what is your background and how you landed in data engineering? I'm having a background in like computer science. I mean, I have done. I went the long route. I have started with an apprenticeship in mechatronics, and then I had a I took a 2-year certification course as a how is that called in English? It's always hard to translate this. It's like in German, it's like state certificated computer scientist. And then I went to university, and then I did a course at I did a 4-year university diploma degree in computer science, applied computer science. Yeah, and then I worked for a SAP company as a SAP consultant, and then I fell into this, and I'm doing it for 7 years, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. More than 7 years. Fawad asks, please give us a lecture on Hadoop architecture, design, planning, and administration as well. I think that we can talk about this off the course. We can do some stuff outside of the course. I in my last real stream about a week ago, I've been talking with Dragonfly and with Nick, who isn't here today, about what to do. And so we said, okay, it would be interesting to also get into tools deeper and focus on some specific tools. And we're also going to do this. I just have to look out so it isn't too much for me, because I'm a one-man show. What about some machine learning models? Nope. We can use various data sets available at Google, Amazon, and Microsoft Azure. Dipanju asks, no, I'm not a data scientist. Exactly. But we can generate data using big data and all. But what about using that data? As a computer science engineer, we have to think beyond. I haven't answered to that. Whoops. At some point, I have to admit I wasn't keeping track of all the comments. Yes, but as I said before, just downloading some data that doesn't really make sense. I want to have live data. I want to have living data where I can ingest some stuff. Yeah. Let's load some more comments here. Dipted says, great idea. I would suggest Azure or AWS as the platform. I'm building real world pipelines on top of it using Databricks. Yeah, I think we already covered this. But Spark and Scala, this is a good choice. I'm thinking more. Scala is more my specialty, but I'm actually thinking about Python here because I know Python is super popular among the data science or among the computer scientists right now. This sounds interesting. Interesting beginning. Andreas, all the best. Not to discourage, rather consider this as a suggestion. Okay, let's see the suggestion. There are plenty of such platforms available on the market. Try and find the gap in their program and make your platform as an extension. What? Okay. The biggest gap I see in these platforms are not the technology. They all give access to all tools to play, but the real world use cases are truly no enterprise level. I have to read this again. To all the tools to play, but the real world use case are truly not enterprise. I don't know what he's talking about. It helps to gain confidence. Yes, I have practical experience, kind, but it's true scenario made a corporate. It's way complex. I'm figuring that he's talking about so the first part, making my platform as an extension, that doesn't make sense. I want to use some tools. But the other thing I'm thinking he's talking about that the actual use cases are what matters. Actual use case and not just some small parts. Dragonfly says, I think he's speaking of enterprise deployment. This can also be true. Hmm. That's true. Okay. It's a very good idea, says Barath. I know it might be off the track, but it would be great if you can include something on security. Yeah, I still think this could be I mean, security and data privacy. This can be a completely different course. This can be a complete course because of the volume of stuff you need to know and you can know. I'm trying to include some stuff about security and privacy in my cookbook that is available on my Patreon, and that I'm going to add the stuff from my course. So the documents I'm creating, or the document I'm creating, this will be part of the cookbook, the course document. So people can also download it there and not get the full course, but get the the stuff we're creating here. Do you already define the curriculum? By the way, thanks for answering. Of course, I'm loving this chat function and that you can. Tranquil asked, when is the cookbook ready? The cookbook is always ready and waiting. It's just not everything there. So this is a living document. This can be. I just decided to put this stuff on Patreon. So if people want to support me, because I have to pay some stuff here that I'm right now paying out of my pocket, but if so, that it's not really a issue. But if people want to or enjoy this stuff and want to support me, they can get something in return, and this would be the cookbook. That where I'm adding stuff and where I'm adding the course documents as well. But there are not I'm thinking in the finished course there will be also videos, and the videos will not be there. Yeah. Yeah. So security, a huge issue. We can include a bit here, but I think in this course this course will be and also Ranjik, I haven't specified the curriculum completely here. I'm right now. I think we can. I think on Wednesday I'm at the point where we can talk a bit about a rough structure. I already have some ideas and I already have put a small bit together, but yeah, we can talk about this on Wednesday. Where was I? Yeah, some security stuff we can include, but not all. Colin says, I'll repeat the comment I made elsewhere in a share of this post. I think there's a general gap in the market right now for data engineering courses that are cloud platform independent. Mm-hmm. Right now, you can get a Google Cloud platform data engineering cert on Coursera, and there are some equivalents on AWS or Azure. Equally, there are some vendor-specific courses like those provided by Cloudera. Yes, those things are good, from what I have heard. But they are classroom-based. Yeah. A generic data engineering course that covers end-to-end data platform creation, including batch streaming, curation, metadata, lineage, security, search, etc., is missing today. The closest I've seen is the Yandex course on Coursera, but haven't evaluated it yet for content. I can do this tomorrow. The Yandex course. Yandex Coursera. Because at work I have basically a license to get all the courses. Because this is stuff. The cool thing is I'm basically doing what I love. And at work I'm a data engineer, I'm a data engineering professional, and this stuff matters for me as a professional as well. And so this I can basically benefit and in two ways. I can benefit as for my daily work, and I can benefit here, and you can benefit from it as well. And yeah, I'm thinking also my employer benefits from this knowledge, and I'm thinking yeah, he has written here a lot of stuff, metadata, security, data curation, and so on. Let's see how this goes. I'm not 100% sure how this goes, and how much we put into the course. if it takes half a year and we're having a lot of fun in this half year, and we're doing a huge course, so be it. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Good idea, says Abdullah here. Good idea. The topics I like are Hadoop, Spark, Jupyter Enterprise Gateway. Jupyter is interesting. Yeah. It's especially for data scientists. It's yeah. Dragonfly says Data Quest IO have a very good data engineering pathway for beginners, which uses weblogs from an Nginx server. Okay, interesting. Jay Vartan says I prefer the course to be more inclined towards the architectural decision that are being made, and this is a big thing here. Yes, since that is something which I feel is lacking as part of the online platform. As for the stack, I guess you could go with a mix of both batch and structured streaming. I'm looking forward to the course. Of course, batch and streaming, yes. We are going to have this, and yeah, that's for me. That's also the thing, and the tools, you can learn the tools everywhere. You can learn the tools, but the decision process is super important. Yes, everything data engineering, from building a pipeline to take it into production. Yep. Start with defining non-functional requirements before which technologies and tools to use. Yes. Yes, this is a good idea. The thing is here, I specifically the rough platform strategy I already have in mind. Just some tools we need to figure out. For instance, if we're going with something like Hive, or if we're using something like Cassandra for querying. I don't know. Yeah. Bombardier Transportation. I have been flying with one of their airplanes this week. Or basically two. One type. Very nice thing. Here, this thing here. Bombardier. That was a fun ride. Do I have a picture here? This thing. Can I show this to you on the images? This thing here. Propeller. Turboprop. Yeah, that was fun. What does he say? A very good idea. I propose to focus on general architecture patterns. Yes. You see, this is the way to go. Plus mapping the patterns to different technology stacks. It started so good. Apply good old layered architecture platforms to assure separation of concerns, like separating storage from compute. We are still in a Wild West mode when it comes to data processing engines. That's true. A bit. I mean, you have some standards, I think, are set, and yeah, what is hip today might be outdated tomorrow. Yes and no. I mean, if you look at Spark, for instance, it's more or less a safe bet. I mean, Spark is, that thing is not going away, and the development within Spark is so quick. It's crazy. So stuff like Spark is super safe. Or I think Flink has also a good community. Dragonfly asks, this may sound silly, but someone asked me the question last week. I didn't really have an answer on the spot. How do you manage schemas in big data world? Schemas for, I'm guessing, for databases or something. The thing is, if you're going for something like a key value store or something, these things are schemaless. So you don't define columns. You can define columns on the fly and use the columns. You just need to make sure you have basically a pattern of creation. How do you create columns? These are more like virtual columns. And the documentation is super simple. So yeah, schema on read. The thing what you or if you're with something like what you can do is you can store data like something in a key value store like HBase. It's just from my experience. A very simple thing. You can store data in HBase, and in HBase you have a compound key and you have the value. And what you can do is you can map then this within Hive. You can create basically a SQL table from that. And so it's more or less schema on read. You just define it like a usual SQL database and work with it. That would be, I think this would be a how I would say schema on read looks like here, because then you have then in this case you have views, and this you need to define the views and make them available. I could be totally wrong here. Where was I? What tip today would be outdated, might be outdated tomorrow. Yeah. And it's a nice side effect. It enables elasticity for compute, means you can go pay as you go with compute or even serverless. All other components around the bells and whistles will benefit from this foundations. Yeah, Marcus has some really good points here, and yeah, the thing is, elasticity is not always the main focus. It's always one thing that always counts is the price, and with serverless, you have to pay the price. Why do you think all these companies we are looking at in our case studies, why are they all not going serverless, and why are they all not using or use general vendor tools and not go with specific tools from the cloud platforms? Because you're going to pay a lot, and you cannot mostly it's paying, and then statistics or analytics on the tools, on how the performance of the tools and so on. This is all, yeah. Do it, just do it. Do it, please. Make an improvement on Hitachi Vantara. Never heard of it. For the enterprise data pipeline. And also deal with IMDGs. What? Some industrial IIoT, industrial Internet of Things, base time critical cases. So basically something like time series stuff. It's interesting. Don't fall into this trap. Industrial IIoT, that doesn't exist because industrial is already in the I. It's Internet of Things or Industrial Internet of Things. Okay. IMDGs. No idea. And then let's start with basic R programming and statistical approach. Dragonfly, this one hasn't understood it. Nice idea. Your videos are amazing, thanks. And all our own practical scenarios. Yeah. Hands-on experience on Spark and Kafka with real-world use case. Yes. So as you can see, combination batch and real time. Yes. Yeah. So I think the direction is clear here. What we're going to do is we're going to in-memory data grid. God. Who uses this stuff? This is funny. You always learn stuff. Maybe hybrid cloud and on-premise solutions. Yeah, I think there are many more comments here. I think it's we're going to see a pattern here, and it's I don't want to bore you with everything. We're already an hour in. Wow, already an hour in here. So we're going to create a course on data engineering focused on the architecture stuff, on architecture thought process, figuring out how to process what data do we want to get, or what data are we getting, how to organize it, what tools are we using and why are we using them, why does this make sense. So yeah, ingest, store, analyze. What do we want to do with data? How do we want to visualize the data? Everything in a way that people can replicate this on their computer at home, who is running, for instance, Docker. So I think this is a really cool thing, cool solution. I'm going to take a lot of time here. I think this will be something that takes a few months of, because I'm only having a few hours a day, and need to figure out how I'm going to do some stuff and then document it, and then doing the live streams and so on. So I'm thinking maybe sometimes I need to not do a live stream, but do a 10-minute video recording of what I have done in the evening, and then upload it in the morning or something. Because all this stuff here, I'm basically here since 10, so I'm already 1.5 hours in here. I need to prepare the stream, put everything up, then the USB stuff doesn't work, and I need to plug it in, plug it out, and restart OBS 10 times. I don't know why. So, yeah. Okay, I think the direction is set. In the next stream, what we're going to do is that let me just get myself here alone. In the next stream, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the first structure of the course, because I already have tried to get a bit of a structure in, and Dragonfly asks, broadcast and accumulators in Spark will be awesome too. Yep, this is also something interesting. Broadcast stuff, accumulators. Yeah, accumulators. I don't have that much experience. Broadcasts is very useful. The let's say the stage is set. The data engineering cookbook. It's not it's not finished. It's not everything there. The last version is uploaded, I think, last month. I'm currently working on a new version that is going to include this course, and depending on how it goes, I'm going to upload it after the next stream, and then we're going to see where this goes. Okay, guys, it's been a lot of fun today. I always love this stuff, the commenting on interesting topics. Yeah, and then let's meet here on Wednesday, or if you don't have time, you can watch the recording and figure out the rough course overview, and then let's see where this goes. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dragonfly, for. I mean, if I look here, it's all you in the comments. Usually, it's all you and Nick. But we also had some from you other guys, like Reandrik. We had some very interesting questions, and Alberto also. Just from if I quickly scroll here, very interesting questions and comments. Yeah, it's been fun. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye.